In this episode of Crypto News in a Flash, that interesting video by Crypto Mason, where he went on a rant about ISO 20022.
XRP is not ISO 20022 compliant, and no crypto token can actually be ISO 20022 compliant. In this video, I'm going to expose every single XRP influencer on the face of the earth, including me, because that ISO 20022 is a financial messaging standard. It is for financial institutions. It doesn't have anything to do with crypto tokens. It's for banks and payment systems to send messages back to each other. To explain something like ISO 20022 is thinking about it this way. A native Italian and a native Frenchman both speak English to one another so that they can understand each other. But this guy says, or Matt Hamilton says, the influencers are trying to tell you that because of that, the value of Waterstone's bookstore will go up because they sell books in English, right? You want to be unbrainwashed as much as you can in crypto. You got to unbrainwash yourself. So I know the truth about ISO and the ISO standard, and I know the truth about how all these other influencers, they don't even understand this. They just say ISO coins, buy them, go up.
While I may agree with the accuracy of the first comment, with the two native speakers that speak a different language using English to breach the language barrier, he also used the example of the value of the books that are going to go up because they're written in English. Or a more accurate analogy would be that this book can be read by anyone from any language. And yes, that definitely makes it more valuable. Because ISO 20022 is a standard that's creating bridge payments across the world, connecting everybody. So XRP is the fuel for RippleNet, which is built to handle cross-border payments. And it is technically considered a payment system. So payment systems like RippleNet and banks will be required to use the ISO 20022 XML messaging format. RippleNet, which will use XRP in the XRP ledger, has to be ISO 20022 compliant because it will be an intermediary between two different banks during cross-border payments. Now, here's the big question. How does XRP become ISO 20022 compliant? It accomplished that task because of its integration with RippleNet. Ripple is the cross-border payment banking software designed to work with financial institutions. RippleNet is the system integrated with XRP Ledger, which means the XRP become ISO 20022 compliant. So when influencers are saying this coin is ISO 20022 compliant, it's the same as saying that that specific crypto has systems in place that allow it to work with and speak with banking software. That's what we're saying, or that's what I'm saying. But I'm not going to say that long run on sentence every time, and that's absurd. I'm just going to say that XRP is ISO 20022 compliant. It's very similar to all aspects of blockchain everywhere. Most blockchains have tons of integrations, from layered solutions to side chains, dApps. Ethereum has over 10,000 projects built onto its blockchain. Most popular Ethereum integrations are like layer 2 solutions, cross-chain bridges, developer tools and APIs, the Hyperledger Bisu that builds private networks, Oracle services, and Internet Computer Protocol, which allows Ethereum smart contracts to interact with other networks. Now, I could strip away all those things from Ethereum and then say, yeah, but Ethereum itself doesn't have any interoperability to communicate smart contracts with other networks. And technically, you'd be right. Just the same way as if RippleNet decided to spend 6 months rewriting their code to no longer use XRP and use Ethereum for some stupid reason. And then XRP would no longer be ISO 2002 compliant, and Ethereum would. And this is all in response to your main argument of crypto itself cannot be ISO 2022 compliant. Well, most crypto, honestly, couldn't, and by a lot of standards still can't, do much of anything at all, especially in the earlier days, until it needed to. Then people built systems that allowed that specific crypto to do that thing that it couldn't do before, like Ethereum revolutionizing the crypto game with smart contracts, or Polkadot creating interoperability between blockchains. And now cryptos are integrating with systems that allow it to be ISO 20022 compliant, like RippleNet. That's the beauty of blockchain. We all work together to improve it. So while this influencer who may have thought that he had this big aha moment really just made the assumption that since he got it wrong, that everybody was obviously getting it wrong, when it was just a simple misunderstanding on his part. And I have no issue with him. I absolutely do not think he's a bad guy or anything. It sounds to me like he's genuinely wants to learn as he goes. I just think the video would have been much better and more enjoyable if it would have been more of a humble, hey, I got this wrong type of video instead of a, I'm calling out all you influencers for you getting it wrong type of video. Credit to him, though. He did include himself when he called people out, but he still made the assumption. And I guess my video is to point out that not all influencers are getting it wrong, and maybe it's just more of a perspective. Like, yeah, sure, if you isolate the coin and remove everything that's been built around it, you're technically correct. It can't be ISO 20022 compliant. But that's like someone saying that I'm not human or I can't think because I'm just a liver. And you got to remove all the other stuff around my liver because that doesn't count. It only provides fuel. We really need this whole system we've got here to be functioning, right? Like the head, that everything around it really makes us what we are. And I feel like that's the same situation when it comes to crypto. And I will sum it up with like a quick bite-sized example. I think that to better understand the ISO 20022 compliance is that it's really just kind of like a format that is similar to FMLA in writing. That's a format that you use when you write your essay. And ISO 20022 compliance has formats that it uses for coding. This is an example of what the XML format is supposed to look like. I appreciate everybody for watching. This is my first kind of response video to something. I hope I was civil, and I hope that if he ever actually sees this video, that he knows that I'm not attacking him. It just made me think that there's better ways to convey our points. But wealth, love, and authenticity to you all.